Valley today, a deadly car crash involving Minneapolis police also involves the family of a teenager who recorded the death of George Floyd. Plus, a week-long wait with no progress. One family is desperate to get information about their loved one who hasn't been seen for days. And a Fargo City Commissioner pushes forward on a plan to legalize fireworks. But first, we have breaking news right now out of South Moorhead this morning. Police are investigating a report of shots fired in the 400 block of 7th Street South. That's in the neighborhood just south of Trinity Lutheran Church. Dispatchers say the call came in around 4:45 this morning, but there's no information on whether anyone or anything was hit. We have a crew headed to the scene and will bring you the very latest when we can. Fire destroyed a semi in South Fargo, and investigators are looking for how it all started. Crews pulled up to the Peterbilt in the 3600 block of 38th Street South last night to find that rig engulfed in flames and smoke filling the air. No one was hurt, and they were able to put the fire out in just a few minutes. New this morning, one person is dead in a crash involving a Minneapolis police squad car that was chasing a robbery suspect. And the teenager who recorded that viral video of George Floyd's murder says the person who was killed in that crash was her uncle. Police were chasing a stolen vehicle linked to some commercial robberies when the squad car crashed into the victim's vehicle and a third vehicle just after midnight yesterday. Darnella Frazier posted on her Facebook page last night that the innocent driver who was killed was her uncle, Lenneal Frazier. She wrote that police took an innocent man trying to catch someone else, and she questioned why the officers continued that chase. Police say the suspect in the stolen vehicle was not involved in the crash and still remains at large. Breaking news this morning, we are taking a live look at Naples, Florida. Communities all along Florida's Gulf Coast, they're bracing for a hard hit from Elsa, expected to make landfall a little later today, then move up into Georgia and the Carolinas. 33 counties in Florida are currently under a state of emergency. High winds and heavy rain could bring dangerous storm surges, flooding, and power outages to the state. Some areas could get 9 inches of rain, if not more. And tracking Elsa along with the cooler weather in our neck of the woods, First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Lisa Green, and she has the latest.
Good morning. Today we are starting off with more wildfire smoke out there too we're going to talk about. But since we're talking about Elsa, we want to give you an update on the latest. Max sustained winds 65 miles per hour, meaning it's no longer a hurricane. It did ramp up to Category 1 hurricane status yesterday. It's weakened, and we're at 65 miles per hour as a tropical storm. Moving to the north at 14 miles per hour. And here's that Big Bend area again. That's where we're more likely to see that landfall. But we've already felt the impacts from it in Florida. We've got this stretching all the way from the Florida and Georgia line all the way down toward Fort Myers here. Still getting some heavy thunderstorms and heavy rain. And this is going to move up all along the East Coast over the next several days. So all those folks there are going to need to keep an eye out for some heavy rain and this system holding on and bringing some tough weather. Here in the valley, it's that wildfire smoke we've been talking about in the wake of yesterday's rain. We have some haze still out there. This is at Dakota Magic Casino along the South Dakota line, and I-29, a semi moving there along the interstate. Visibility is down slightly because of that haze still in place. And here's a look at our air quality index, the latest coming in from the EPA. Our map here shows Fargo right there in the center, and then Bismarck over toward the west, of course, and in those yellow areas where we're in that moderate range, but unhealthy air quality down toward Ellendale and Edgeley and down toward Aberdeen. So that's an area where that plume just continues to work its way southward and will continue to affect some of those places for this morning. I do expect some improvement coming up for the afternoon. But if you're in the unhealthy range, everybody should be limiting your time outdoors, especially if you're a sensitive part of that sensitive group. You'll want to stay indoors if you can here until this passes. And I do think we'll have improvement coming up again through the day. But visibility is down to 4 in Gwinner and 4 miles in Oaks and down toward Aberdeen. So again, that smoke bringing down our visibility slightly and that haze in place. Here's a look at our wildfire smoke model, our forecast model here. The fires are right up here in northwest Ontario, and then wherever the wind direction is going, it takes that smoke. And so those plumes moved into the valley. That's going to kind of lift northward over the next 24 hours, and we'll get some improvement. It'll still hang around a little bit today, but it will look better. So we've got mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures this morning in the 50s, so a little cool to step out into this morning. 57 in Fargo and 55 in Grand Forks, but we're slowly warming up. Today we'll get back into the 70s for most areas, and we'll get that sunshine by the end of the day, so the clouds will break up. Next chance for rain comes Thursday night in the west and into Friday, and this weekend looks great. Low to mid 80s and sunshine.
Between Elsa, the wildfires, and the rain that could be coming later this week, a busy forecast for you here this morning. Lisa, thank you for keeping on top of it all. Now 6:52, Fargo police are asking for your help finding a woman who hasn't been in contact with her family since July 1st. 31-year-old Carrie Doherty was last seen last Friday. The latest from police are that she may be wearing a white t-shirt, jeans, tan boots, and a dark purple hoodie. Doherty's family has received a text with varying stories and explanations of why she's gone. One text said that she had been in a bad accident and didn't survive, but that has not been confirmed. Her family says Carrie has been working on her addiction issues, but even on her darkest days, she always checked in with her family. If you have any information on where she could be, call Fargo Police or your local law enforcement. A Fargo City Commissioner is pushing to make fireworks legal. Tony Gehrig says that he has been proposing to legalize fireworks since 2017 because prohibition just isn't working. He says the mess that was left behind at Shields Arena that we told you about yesterday is proof that the law is not being strictly enforced. Fargo police are reporting 182 fireworks-related calls since June 27th. They responded to every single one, but didn't issue a single citation. Gehrig says that's putting a strain on police and fire resources that could be used elsewhere. He says if fireworks are legalized, people won't shy away from calling the authorities if something goes wrong.
We know people want to do it. People are doing it. So the community is telling us what they want by doing what they want. Costing the taxpayers a lot more to enforce a law that's unenforceable. It's taking away from the officers doing exactly what they should be doing. And there's a large fire department pull on that as well because people aren't reporting the incidences when they happen because they're afraid of getting arrested or fined.
Commissioner Gehrig also believes there are options to make fireworks legal in Fargo, including designating areas across the city where you can shoot them off. North Dakota is sending National Guard soldiers to the U.S. border with Mexico this fall to support federal operations there. The 125 soldiers could be deployed for up to a year. The Guard is fulfilling a federal request for help, so it will not cost the state any money. The soldiers are from the Bismarck-based 957th Engineer Company. Grand Forks Sheriff's deputies and police officers, they were on the stand during the third day of testimony in the Solomon Pendleton murder trial. He's accused of killing Officer Cody Holte in May of 2020. Grand Forks Police Corporal Pat Torek responded with Holte as backup on the day of that shooting. And the jury saw more than an hour of this body camera footage. And Torek recalled what happened after a second exchange of gunfire.
He was face down, his head was to the left, and he had what I would call a devastating wound to the right arm.
You need to describe this wound to his right arm, how you observed it that day.
The flesh on the arm was pretty much gone. Bone was exposed, and there was a very large pool of blood underneath it.
If convicted, Pendleton could face life in prison. One Fargo man is now asking for equal opportunity to give blood, especially during this supply crisis. FDA policy says a gay man must wait 3 months after his last intimate encounter with another man before he can donate blood. But there are no such restrictions for heterosexuals. He believes even though the rule has slightly changed over the last year, there is still a stigma surrounding the LGBTQ community, which generates back to the start of the HIV/AIDS epidemic.
If there's willing adults that are willing to donate blood, then why not take from them? Each sample that's donated, it doesn't matter who it's from, it gets tested anyways. There's people that get HIV diagnoses after donating blood. So what's the difference if I'm able to give as a homosexual or a heterosexual who doesn't know that they are carrying HIV?
In a statement regarding the FDA referral policy, the American Red Cross says it seeks to build an inclusive environment and that the Red Cross believes blood donation eligibility should not be determined based upon sexual orientation. The Fargo Police Department wants to make biking in the city a bit safer. The department is holding a news conference downtown today to talk about a new partnership. It's happening at 11:15 at Silver Lining Creamery. That's along Broadway. As summer continues and we head out onto the lake, how would you like to add skiing to your list of fun activities? Well, the Valley Today's Brian Sherrod, he took a trip down to Big Pine Lake in Perham, Minnesota, and joins us live with more on how you can get in on the action. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan. I've been out here all morning long, and we're enjoying the skiing time. Of course, I'm here with Betsy to talk all about it. You know, Betsy, we were watching Brooke earlier being able to ski with one person. Now there's 3 of them that are skiing right now. I guess, what kind of skills does it take to be able to do that?
Well, it doesn't take many skills. It's mainly just a lot of fun. This is Carly Morgan and Taylor Dombeck, and they love to water ski together. So if anytime on Big Pine Lake, you'll see them go around the lake and ski and ski and ski. Carly started when she was about 6, which is a few years ago, and we got her started on the bar and right off the side of the boat, and now she's behind the boat with her sisters and just enjoys it. They love water skiing, and any kid that tries it usually just loves it. That's what we want.
So when it comes to us learning for the first time, for someone who, let's say, is day one, what should they know?
They know to keep their arms straight, their knees bent, arms straight. Water skiing's really great.
So when it comes to other people that are coming out here, I guess, why is water skiing such a great skill to learn?
Well, you can do it until you're, like my husband's father is 74 years old and still barefoot water skis. You can do it in all phases of your life. There's not a lot of injuries. It's just fun, and it's a fun social thing to do with your friends and your family. And a family that skis together stays together.
I absolutely love that. And I know that Saturday still has some openings. If people are interested, how can they sign up?
They can go to usawaterski.org and get on the Water Week to sign up, and all the information is right there.
Perfect. And of course, thank you for being here this morning. And Jordy, get a chance to see right behind us how amazing this is. We're gonna go ahead and toss it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, Brian, I was hoping I was going to see you out there with the Dumbeck girls, but I guess they're just going to show you up this morning, huh? All right, Brian Sherrod on Big Pine Lake in Perham, Minnesota. Thank you. Let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. That question today is, this is the first thing that most people think about every day. The answer, you just woke up from it, sleep. Remember, you can play along every day. The Today Show and CBS This Morning, they're just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. We continue to follow that breaking news of reports of shots fired in Moorhead by Trinity Lutheran Church. Our reporter is live on the scene and will give us an update from the scene coming up right now on the Fargo CW.